Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 442 podcast. I'm Azer Madani, and as always, I am joined by the wonderful Tommy Sondi.
That's me.
And the absolutely scrumptious Tony O.
Hey, there we go. That's more like it. I was ready for beautiful, but I'll take it.
Oh, no. You called me out last week, so I've spent the entire week just flipping through words in my head that I could use to describe you.
I appreciate it. It's a good start.
Scrumptious, eh? That's some adjective to bring out for Tony.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
The man is a treat to be around. He's an absolute snack.
Yeah.
And what else can you describe him as?
Yeah, build me up, boys. I know what's coming. I know what's coming. Yeah.
You know what's coming?
Trying to keep you on my side because I know what's coming as well.
You guys should delay it then and talk about maybe what you did on the weekend.
I managed to drag out my birthday celebrations for an extra few days. Dragged it to Saturday, so that happened. We had a nice dinner. Other than that, yeah, the football kind of ruined the rest of it. But let's ask you.
That's too bad.
You're in a better mood these days. How was your weekend?
I mean, I wouldn't say it was very eventful. I think I did go see the new Ghostbusters movie in the theater, and it was pretty meh, I would say. I would not recommend. I would just recommend waiting if you are going to watch that one. Waiting to see it on, streaming or whatever.
Isn't King Richard out in cinemas?
King Richard might be out.
The Williams sisters.
Yeah. I think it is.
Yeah.
That's one I have on my list to watch as well. The trailer looked pretty. I mean, it's a sports movie. I love sports movies.
Yeah.
And it's Will Smith too, right? And who doesn't like Will Smith?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think it is. Or I'll double check to make sure, but that's one I'll check out too.
We're just gonna have to start an entire section for Tommy to review movies, aren't we?
Yeah, I'm down for that.
It's already written off Ghostbusters, so.
I mean, I'm not saying it was bad.
If Tommy says that I shouldn't watch Ghostbusters, I'm not watching Ghostbusters.
Hey, let me just know. I'm not saying it was bad. I'm just saying it was,
You literally said don't watch it until you can watch it for free.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
By the way, on a scale, meh is worse than bad.
Is it?
Exactly.
Okay.
A bad movie is watchable. It's inherently fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just say I'm a big fan of Ghostbusters, so maybe I'm slightly more disappointed at the movie than the average, say, viewer, but average, we'll say. Anyhow. Why don't we just get back to the football? Because it was glorious this weekend.
No, Eric deserves a chance to tell us.
Oh, yeah,
sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, in honor of Tony's birthday, the Toronto Nooners got into a full line brawl in a cup final, and it's excellent stuff all around.
Attaboy.
What more do you need on a cold, rainy Sunday night in Toronto?
Oh, you know what? We never really got a chance to give some love to the national team. The Canadian national team for their big performance against Mexico. That was a great win, by the way.
Absolutely, top to bottom, fantastic performance.
And do you know what's great about that? There was also a little bit of a brawl at the end of that game.
Yeah.
Every good game needs a little bit of a brawl.
Yeah.
It's very Canadian, very hockey, and honestly, the best part about the Canadian performance was, for me, that they won without relying on Davis playing particularly well. Because Mexico did a fairly good job of closing him down, I thought.
You know what? There was a point where he had the ball, and there were 5 Mexican players right on him. It's like they were not marking anyone else.
That's the thing. They're going to try to take away Davis, so you have to beat them with other players.
Yeah.
And Kyle Larin.
Yeah, he's joined the top of the highest goal scoring list for the Canadian national team, one away from being the outright all-time goal scorer, which is some feat. 2 great poacher efforts from him. Yeah.
Who was it who had that? Was it that late goal line clearance where Mexico almost tied at the end there?
The goalkeeper.
Was it the goalkeeper? Okay. because they should.
It's generally who you expect to be.
I thought there was a defender there, but yeah, I think Mexico should have scored 100%.
It was Boran.
He got bailed out.
He panicked. I can't remember who he was, but he panicked. He tried to. It's one of those where you should control it and then shoot, but he tried to turn it in with his stomach almost. It was at an awkward height. I was crushed because I thought he scored. Like, for a split second, you couldn't see it, and I was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe this!" And yeah, somehow it didn't go in, and Canada got a big win, top of the rankings right now, which is amazing.
Then they're back at it in March, I believe, is the next international break.
Yes, sir, and I think they have 6 games left or so. So still a long way to go.
There's a long way to go. Yeah, the table is super close.
All right. I think
gentlemen, from one team in red winning to another, Liverpool 4, Arsenal 0. Tony, we're going to rip the Band-Aid off. And before anyone says anything, we will be getting to Man United. There's plenty to say about that, so we're just going to save that, put it aside for now, and get back to that at the end. But let's start with Liverpool Arsenal.
Yeah. I mean, look. We did the predictions last week. I think all of us predicted that Liverpool would win this game. I predicted a 2-0 defeat. I was being optimistic. Liverpool always destroy us. Like, honestly, my heart was saying 4-0. No, my heart was saying 2-0. My head was saying 4-0. You know what's really upsetting about the game? Like, the first 20 minutes, there were opportunities to hurt Liverpool, I felt. We played out from the back really well in the first half. Really well. We got through midfield to the final third, and there was nothing. Just nothing. Aubameyang, yeah, there is this consensus that he's a forward that plays without the ball. It's nonsense. He was hiding the entire time. I've seen Aubameyang in big games when he's on it. He's won us games against Valencia and European semi-finals. He's won us the FA Cup against Man City and Chelsea. You can see when he's confident, he just hid behind Matip and Van Dijk the entire game. And slowly...
All these Aubameyang games you've mentioned have been before he got this latest contract.
No, I'm not... This isn't a Ozil situation. It's not the contract, because even before the contract, he had games like this. He's a guy that doesn't do well with pressure.
But has he had games like that Man City performance, like that Valencia performance, since he got the contract? Like, what was it, a season and a half ago?
I don't know. I have to honestly.
It's like I like, because you remember, and like when I think about the good Aubameyang performances, those are the games I think about, and I just can't remember any where he's just, you're like, yes, he's taking over this game kind of thing.
You're saying in a big game, basically?
Yeah.
I think look, he has declined physically, but I just think he's been at Arsenal for 4 years now. Let's say 3 years and 11 months, whatever. He's never scored at Anfield. He's never scored at the Etihad. When the intensity is really high, he hides. Like, there were so many times we get the ball on the counter-attack. Saka'd be looking for him. He's making a far post run. Do you know how difficult it is to play the ball over Van Dijk and Matip right onto his foot at the far post? Never busts a gut to get across the defenders anymore. When we have a break, he always wants to run in behind. He wants like the Hollywood pass. And it's like sometimes you need to drop short and take the contact from the center backs, roll it out, and then play us in. Let's build from you. And we've been getting away with it recently because we put Lacazette in there. But this is Anfield, and Lacazette essentially was playing as an extra midfielder. He dropped really deep trying to help out. And we just couldn't...
Tony. Maybe it's more of a balance issue. Maybe you just need to find the Aubameyang to his Aubameyang.
No.
I was giving that the moment of silence it needed. It's one of your worst attempts. But
I'm pretty proud of that. I'm not gonna lie.
I can't get, like, other than Aubameyang's performance, he's really starting to frustrate me. He hasn't scored in I think about 6 weeks now. I can't remember the last time he scored. I can't wait for this Aubameyang chapter to be over. He and Lacazette, the Chuckle brothers, we need to move on and get an actual center forward that has some threat. But yeah, for the rest of the game, listen, Liverpool raised the temperature. Jurgen Klopp was really, you saw his experience in that first half. He sensed that Liverpool were flat and they needed something. And that little fracas he starts with Arteta, in the moment, I enjoyed it, but in hindsight, I think we played right into his hands. Liverpool really got the jolt they needed from that, and I think they scored about 2 or 3 minutes later. So,
I just want to say I would love if managers did that more often. Like that, to me, that was the most exciting part of the match, was seeing Arteta and Klopp just yell at each other, waving their hands. Oh, it was fantastic.
yeah.
You could see the intensity lift up, and they start to really pick on the likes of Nuno Tavares and Sambi Lokonga, where they were forcing them to panic, forcing them to send those passes across the defense and across the midfield that Liverpool were just picking off at will. It felt like in the second half, like every 2 or 3 minutes, you'd see another pass go across, get picked off, and then all of a sudden it's 3-on-3, and Liverpool just have more quality in those areas, and that's always going to win out at this stage.
Yeah, they have a lot of power, Liverpool. I think in many ways, Arsenal's youth was exposed in that second half. It's clear that Klopp really told them to get right on us in that second half. And Lokonga, he lost his head a bit. It was no surprise that he was subbed off, because he just kept giving the ball away. Not even under, I mean, there was a quote from the Arsenal women's manager, actually, when they lost to Barcelona. I've forgotten his name now, but he said when you're under immense pressure and you win the ball back, you only see Barcelona faces. You don't see Barcelona shirts. You no longer see Arsenal shirts. And you start panicking and playing the safe pass, which ends up being dangerous. And it felt like that's what Lokonga was doing in that moment. It's like he gets the ball back and he's looking at who's the closest person to me. And he plays it to that person, even though they're under pressure. And Tavares got stick for his ball across to Jota, which was naive. But he was trying to play, at least. Like, he wasn't hiding. It's going to happen. It's one of those games where, look, I'm not too upset at most of it. It's what's to be expected. These aren't the games that are going to define our season. We have a game against Newcastle next week. We need to bounce back. We can't let this game destroy our form. So, yeah, I'm.
So you're saying the Newcastle game is your season defining game.
I'm saying they're going to have more of an impact on the rest of our season than playing against Liverpool, where we lose every week. That's what I'm saying.
If you want a team to bounce back against, there's probably no better team to play than Newcastle.
I will say though that Mane, this game was a real, like, he got stuck in on like every challenge. He was fantastic. He was physical. Can I say something on this? Yeah.
Why
are we going to get conspiracy theories?
No, it's not conspiracy theory.
Oh, okay,
I'm
fine,
just trying to
fine.
understand.
I got my hopes up.
I was hoping for it too.
Why do we praise players for trying to injure opponents? Because that's essentially what he was trying to do in this game, and he does it a lot. Like, he did it last season. Like, because I look, when it comes to Liverpool, right, and in the big games, the ones I watch most acutely are the Arsenal games. And Mane makes up for, I think, his physical decline by putting himself about. But there's putting yourself about, and then there's slight tackling an opponent when you're off the field. Like, yeah, I don't get it. Mane, eventually he gets his goal, but I think there are other ways to have an impact on a game than, trying to. Yeah,
trying to rally you up, Tony.
Yeah, I'm not sure
trying to rally you up.
I'm
You
not
should
sure
take
he
this
was
personally.
trying to injure me. Like,
So how do you
the way I
explain-
see it?
how do you explain
hey,
the challenge
that was
off
a
the
bad
field?
that was a bad challenge.
It's not a
how I
bad
explain it.
challenge. It's
not?
off the field. It's ridiculous. Like the ball's not there to be won. I repeat, he's off the field. Why slide into that? Like, what is he trying to gain other than trying to hurt the opponent? Explain it to me.
Maybe he's trying to get his team going.
Jesus, is that the
Hey.
best you could come up with? Trying to get
You
his
know-
Look, you're asking a Chelsea fan that came up through the Mourinho years about whether he thinks that was good or not.
Hey,
You're
I'm-
gonna get
but-
one answer.
But you do realize I'm not saying it's a good challenge. I'm just saying for me, Mane was very physical, and okay, maybe he had one or two out of bounds sort of tackles, but I don't think he's out there with intent to injure someone.
I don't
think
so.
so.
I genuinely
disagree.
think he is.
I don't think
I've
he
seen
is.
this player enough to know that he doesn't mind if the player gets hurt in that situation. He has those moments. Look, Mane is a really good player. He's been a great signing for Liverpool, but I think sometimes he just crosses the edge. Like crosses the line. That's my opinion. And listen, am I bitter? Probably, but I don't think it's right for you to be putting an opponent. If he ends up injuring the opponent, there's every chance he gets sent off. You shouldn't wait for that to happen. But
So besides that incident, I would say Mane had a fantastic performance. He was in every challenge. Trent's ball in the first goal for Mane, that cross, perfect.
you know what? A great performance. Mo Salah in the second half went mega.
he just kept driving at people.
Jesus, I felt for Tavares, man. He lost. There was a point where Salah brings the ball out of the sky, like on the touchline, turns around.
Perfect first touch.
And Tavares is like, I'm done with this shit. And he goes right into him, and Salah just sidesteps him. Tavares is on the floor. I'm like, oh, man, this guy is done. Like, yeah. Salah, he's having an amazing season. He's doing things that a certain number 10, Argentinian number 10, has been doing for many, many years. And when he's like that, he's unplayable. He's unplayable. But listen.
Should we just move
I think
on?
we should move on.
Yeah.
We should move on before Tony starts to slide.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll move on to Leicester 0, Chelsea 3. Tommy, you must be buzzing about this. Leicester were never in this one.
We can say Leicester didn't show up. They were sleeping. Poor performance. And yeah, to an extent, but I think at some point you'd be like, maybe the other team's just too good. And I think that's the case with this match.
I'd just like to interject and say that I already hate this section. He's so fucking smug.
Yeah.
You don't have to put up with the shit that Tony and I have to put up
No,
with.
it doesn't.
You know, I pray every day how thankful I am that we started this season and not say last season with the Lampard era, or not last season, 2 years ago, let's maybe we say. Anyhow, Chelsea, the dominant from the midfield.
Where was this when Chelsea were coming 16th and 10th and all this nonsense? Like, yeah. Anyway, whatever. Sorry, go on.
Okay. Yeah. Jorginho and Conte were just an absolute menace. Conte was a menace in that midfield. He had a goal, which you never see from Conte, but Leicester's like, we'll just drop back. We'll keep dropping. And okay, Conte left foot, I'll just score. Jorginho dominate the midfield. I think, what was it?
He's fine as long as he's not taking penalties now.
Yeah, he's changed his sort of run up and to sort of solve his woes, and it's not helping. So just go back to the stutter step, Jorginho. But yeah, Chilwell had a chance. Jorginho played him through 3 minutes in, where Chilwell hit the crossbar, should have scored.
That's a great touch, by the way. Great touch by Chilwell. Like there was a lot in that chance.
Oh,
Great
his
ball.
first.
Can we even count this as a win if none of the wing backs scored?
Reece James had a
provide
really
assists,
nice
though.
goal, by the way. That was chalked up.
Wait,
to
did he
offside.
score?
No,
Oh,
it was
okay, lovely. Oh, that's fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't have to count this as a win then.
He had a superb turn to set up Conte's goal.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he didn't really set it up, but he kind of passed it on to. But he absolutely fleeced the player. What I loved about
He gets
us
the
on
assist. He gets the assist.
He gets the assist.
Don't take it away from him.
what I love about us on set pieces. So Rudiger on his first goal basically just stands on the goal line. No one's marking him. He's right behind Schmeichel. He just peels off the line, gets the header, and just no one picks him up. And he did it like 3 or 4 times.
You know
in that
what?
game.
You mentioned that Leicester have had a really bad, like all year they've been shocking from set pieces. Now I think about it, that's exactly what Gabriel did for us when we played them a while ago. It's becoming a running theme, I think. Every game, Leicester seems to be conceding from set pieces. But
Yeah, well, it makes sense because they just left them. You think, the one guy you'd want to mark is Rudiger on a set piece.
yeah.
And they just kind of let him kind of float into the box from the goal line. But I do like that sort of strategy to mix it up instead of kind of running in from the top of the box or that sort of thing. It's coming off the goal line. Nice little change up. But I mean, what more can you say? Chelsea's fullbacks were rampant, always in the box. Midfield was strong. And I mean, I really love seeing Ziyech kind of coming into some sort of form. He was dribbling fantastic. Like when he came on, he was dribbling fantastic. He set up Pulisic, who Pulisic just missed and tap in, but he got one just after that.
One of the biggest takeaways for me is that Chelsea have seen off this Lukaku injury without missing a beat. Like they've
except for the
continued
Burnley
like
game.
it's no issue.
That
But
Burnley game,
yeah, true. But I mean, Leicester really missed Tielemans in this. Is he's the guy who can get his foot on the ball and play that line breaking pass from midfield, especially from the deeper areas where which is the only areas that Leicester were actually getting possession in was deep in their own half. And you need someone like Tielemans to be able to break the lines and actually get the ball to the forward players and get the team up the pitch. And they just didn't have that. Indeed, he just couldn't get on the ball at all. Was it
Soumare,
who was with him? He was getting completely overrun. And would it be right to start asking questions about Rodgers at this point?
Yeah, I was surprised as well that they didn't start with James Maddison. He could have helped a bit with ball progression, but Leicester, they're 12th, and they've just not looked right all season, other than one, standout performance against Man United. They've been
other than Newcastle, we are the get-right team. We are the team you want to play.
Yeah, we'll come to United. But I just
pepper them in across. Get little tasters in before the main course.
I mean, when you think about it, Chelsea had 3 goals ruled out for offside.
We could have had 6 or 7 goals this game. Yeah,
Pulisic, Hudson-Odoi, Reece James, like they could have had way more in this game, and they're essentially playing with 5 midfielders, 7 midfielders if you count the wing backs.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't mention before, but how it's just amazing to see how much depth Chelsea have. Like we had Hudson-Odoi was fantastic, and then you bring on someone like Pulisic or Werner made the bench, and we have he's come back. I think Lukaku's going to be in training this week, so
Lukaku should be back for the game against United next weekend.
He should be back against United. I'm sure he's going to want to. It's just it's fantastic to see when you have people out injured. That
my god! I just realized Lukaku's going to be playing against Victor Lindelof. It's going to be. Oh my god! He's going to eat him alive.
He's out for some revenge. But
we were talking. He won't play that game. But,
we were
start.
We were just going to say, I agree. Leicester have questions to ask with Rodgers, and they are sitting there in 12th place now, 15 points. Not a lot of teams there that are really distancing themselves from them, but we were saying how you guys are saying they should be in that 4th fight for that Champions League spot. And I was saying, well, maybe they kind of overachieved hitting those heights.
You can't say they
They've
overachieved.
got enough quality in that squad to challenge.
Those 2 seasons, they were there for the entire, like, basically 37 games, and then they fell away.
And they choked it the last 2 games. Yeah,
they were there on merit because they had players that are good enough. And look, this season, like, for instance, Patson Daka once again is an EU sub, right? Like, he doesn't start with Kilic. He's putting a lot of trust in Vardy. Vardy hasn't scored in a really long time now, and sometimes mix it up. I don't know. They look like they need refreshing. Like they need new. Well, I don't want to say like they need new ideas because Brendan Rodgers has done a really good job. But
you mean someone like Frank Lampard?
I didn't know. Well,
I know a certain Norwegian is on the market.
I'm not gonna disrespect Leicester City by bringing Ole into the conversation, but look,
who said Ole? I never said him.
Anyway, I just think if Brendan Rodgers doesn't sort this out soon, he will be gone. The Premier League's very unforgiving. Leicester City don't have ambitions to be in mid-table or to get dragged into a relegation scrap, which look, I don't think they will. But they're an ambitious club, and the performances this season have not been good enough. So, anyway, good on Chelsea. We keep saying that City and Liverpool are the teams to beat, but they're the ones in first place.
Yeah.
They've been the best team this season. And, they're going to take some stopping. It's turning out to be a great title race. So,
yeah. I mean, one team that we mentioned that is intent on stopping them is Manchester City, and they just demolished Everton 3-0 in a complete non-event of the game.
Very similar.
Yeah, I got my prediction way off, guys. Yeah. I think I had Everton winning this game. I don't know what I was thinking because Everton are not good.
Yeah, Everton are not good, and Man City are really, really good.
City absolutely toyed with them during this entire game. João Cancelo is on some form right now. Just everything he does is just turning into gold.
Absolute peach of a ball to Sterling, who, you know what? Sterling had a great game as well this match. He's been struggling this season. He hasn't played as much as before because with Grealish signing, Antonio, you're saying they don't really fit together. But Sterling was intense. It was a fantastic finish. City just dominant the entire match.
They started with Clive Palmer up front in the false 9 role. This is how confident City are. Like, they're very similar actually to Chelsea in that they don't really have a recognized 9 right now, and it just helps them constantly recycle possession with Cancelo dropping into midfield. You don't know where the goal is going to come from. Rodri's goal, I mean, what can you do? What can you do
what
when
an
the ball
absolute
is
banger,
struck
yeah.
that well? Amazing hit. But Raheem Sterling, he is one of the best wingers in the world, really. It's just weird how he's been marginalized this season, but yeah, I'm glad that he got back in the team and put in a good performance. I don't think... Did Grealish play this game?
No,
he did. I think
he was injured.
Oh, was he? Okay. Well, hopefully this kind of sharpens Pep's mind because I don't know what's going on there. But, good on City. They just, they get the job done. No drama. Three goals, 3 points. Yeah, they're looking like they're going to be Chelsea's biggest threat, which is no surprise, I don't think. And
I mean, on the Everton side, the most concerning thing for me is that you could have taken any Everton team from the last 8 years, 10 years, and swapped them in for this, and it would have been the same performance. Like, it's nothing.
I know,
they are Tottenham, but like a few spots lower down on the table.
I know Benitez set up his team. He left Richarlison alone up top, and Richarlison was getting so frustrated.
Wouldn't you be? He was getting absolutely no chance at anything.
It
was just so.
I will be shocked if he's still there next season, Richarlison. I think someone will come in for him. He's a good player, and he's not really gotten the chance to show it at Everton.
Actually, I was going to say, we were talking about Rodgers potentially, getting the sack, with their own performances. Everton are winless. They lost 4 of the last 5. Are we talking about Benitez maybe getting the sack?
Honestly, I think we were talking about Benitez getting the sack the moment he walked in the door.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah,
he's just not a good fit. He's not a good fit. Like, the fans will never warm to him, and he's not the kind of character that can turn that around. Like, I remember when he was at Chelsea, I think he won you the Europa League, and you guys just never warmed to him. Our fans
never. Yeah, like the thing is, we knew that he was there interim. We knew that he was not getting that contract.
Even if
say you just weren't that interim.
That's better. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Anyway,
I'll get Tony to laugh at one of my jokes eventually.
Yeah, I just look. He is.
No, he's not a good fit. No,
yeah, he's
right.
a Liverpool.
Yeah.
He's a Liverpool icon. I don't want to say legend. That might be too strong. But he's not the kind of personality that really can. He connected with the Newcastle fans, but in general, he's not the kind of person who will come out and really rally a group or really get into the fabric of the place. And his football's boring, really. Like, there's just nothing really for Everton to hold on to. He's been a great coach. I mean, his success speaks for itself. But yeah, if he got sacked next week or the week after or tomorrow, none of us would be sacked. It's just like, yeah, kind of saw that coming. But anyway,
I mean, it's always been a strange appointment.
Yeah,
like from the start.
Yeah.
But I mean, speaking of appointments,
is it time?
Tottenham 2, Leeds 1. Not quite yet, Tony. You'll get your time. Antonio Conte has his first win as a Spurs manager, and he celebrated it like he'd won the World Cup, which, honestly, about on par as an achievement.
I love Conte. How can you not? How can you not like seeing that after just a win, his first Premier League win? He celebrates with all that passion. Like, that has to translate to the players. You'd hope.
I don't know what's more scary. Is it Antonio Conte after defeat or Antonio Conte after a win?
He's just an angry
genuinely
man.
Terrifying.
He's just an angry man, Antonio Conte. But
he has to win. He's a winner. He for him, losing is like death.
Okay.
It's like
okay, hold on.
But hey, he must have said
he just won. It's 3 points against Leeds. I mean, like,
it's 3 points against Leeds, who've won 1 game this year.
Yeah, it's like he's a winner.
Guys.
It's like this is not an achievement. It's not an achievement.
It's Tottenham, guys. Come on, it is an achievement.
I'm not having this nonsense. Like, he's won again. He's such a winner. It's like, no, listen. Let's talk about the fact that they were pretty crap for the entire game. And
they were. They were.
I'll give Conte credit where it's due. He did shake them up at halftime.
Yeah. It's like,
there were clearly threats against people's lives made, because Tottenham did come out with a lot more intensity in the second half, and you could see them actually run, which was new, and the basic requirement when you're playing football usually. But like. Not an impressive win, but at this point, I think a win is a win. Yeah. They needed to get off the mark.
Not even
genius tactics. Run around a bit more, lads. Want that? Yeah.
Not even Antonio Conte can make Emerson Royale know how to defend. So that there's some consolation there. He got absolutely, that goal that Leeds scored, he got absolutely fleeced. But yeah, Tottenham. They came out strong in that second half.
James scored a goal against them.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to see more. I'm sorry. To be frank, Leeds would be pretty. They had chances that they
18
didn't
shots.
They're really missing Patrick Bamford. Like, he cannot come back soon enough for them. Yeah. It's just like, I mean, look, Dan James is a lovely guy, but if you're starting him as centre forward, it's not a Premier League quality centre forward.
Yeah, he's got that one goal, and it's like he suddenly thought he was Iron Robin. Kept cutting in on his left foot and shooting. And it's like, come on, you've tried this a couple of times now. It's not working. Lay it off. But look, I'm gonna need to see more from Tottenham. It's a win. I'm not getting carried away about it. It's something for him to build on, though.
It's a start.
Yeah.
I guess let's run through the rest of the games around the league this weekend because there were some absolute bangers. We'll start with Wolves picking up a 1-0 win against West Ham.
Yeah, West Ham. I think this game West Ham looked tired, and I'm not sure if it was due to players being on international break. I think Wolves also had a lot of players on international break. So
I think it's more likely the Europa League because that's adding an extra game every week, every other week onto a fairly small squad.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's the kind of thing we've seen time and time again. We saw it happen a little bit to Leicester. We saw it happen to Wolves in particular, who had a similar sized squad to West Ham, where it's very much like it's 11 players and they have like 4 or 5 others that they can really use without the quality dropping off too much. So then they're forced to keep using the same 16 players again and again, and then you start to get just exhaustion setting in.
Having said that, they just came off a 2-week break. Like I know that some of their players were away, but I'm not sure there were that many who would have been playing a lot throughout the international break. I just think Wolves were good. Personally, like looking at that game, Wolves have been good every time I watch them, like especially since Jimenez got that goal. I think it was against Southampton that he scored his first goal. They've really taken off. And that was a great piece of play, by the way. Like the patience to wait at the edge of the box.
His goal was nice. Yeah,
brilliant, really clinical finish. And
I'm so happy that we seem to have peak Raul Jimenez back.
I'm not even sure he's peak yet because he's still not the dominant force that he was in the air. That's
fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
But ever since they got, I think we've mentioned this before. Ever since they got Hwang into the team,
yeah,
it's just given him that foil to play off.
Yeah, you can see it from the goal. He lets Hwang make the run. He waits on the edge of the box, and he is a brilliant finisher.
The dominance in the air, you're right about that, and that honestly may never come back, especially with that kind of head injury.
Yeah.
But the confidence is there now.
Yeah.
Rahul didn't play for
He did.
Mexico?
He
did.
He was there in that game against Canada.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, they used him a lot actually, going direct, to get around the conditions. That I'm not sure if we mentioned it was -15. Did you say it was there? But,
-15, snowy, everything you'd want from a wonderful November evening in Edmonton.
Iconic. No, but yeah, Wolves have been good, and just look at the table. They're in 6th place. Yeah, deservedly so. I'm not surprised.
It's the thing we talked about at the start of the season where they were creating a lot of chances and not putting them away.
Yeah,
they started putting them away.
Yeah, because they dropped a certain Adama Traore, and yeah, turns out when you put a forward,
the stock of baby oil has taken a massive hit ever since Traore has been benched.
Yeah. Anyway.
They still put it on him before he got back. He was subbed in. They put it on him. You could clearly see. He was shiny.
You gotta make sure he's nice and shiny for the cameras.
Yeah. No. It's one to watch. The West Ham thing. Maybe I'm just not seeing what you guys are seeing.
Yeah.
But,
well, it's one game. If it starts to become a trend, that's when they need to start worrying about that.
Well, they're playing City next, so if they lose that, then we'll know that they're exhausted.
That's true.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe they'll spring a surprise. Come on, Moyes. We'll move on to Brentford 3, Newcastle 3. Still no wins for Newcastle. Eddie Howe's first game in charge.
Although he wasn't on the
semblance of
touchline,
depending. Oh, he wasn't?
Why wasn't he on the touchline? Yeah,
he had a COVID. He was positive for COVID, I think.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. So then we can just blame the defending on that and move along.
Oh,
right?
I don't know what you can blame the defending on, but there was no defending in this game. I can tell you that for sure. Exciting first half. I think we had 4 goals, 2-2. I'm not sure what Darlow did on the first goal with Tony. Maybe it was too hard for him to handle, but when you get a shot right at you expect to save it. I'm not. Tony had a good game. We were saying goals are getting dry for Mbeumo and Tony a bit, but Tony was fantastic this game. He actually had a nice little goal line save at the end of the game.
Tony way too much.
I am saying Tony way too much. Yeah,
that's in my head.
But 6 goals. Newcastle still can't win. Saint Maximin had a nice volley kind of tap off a cross to save Newcastle's blemishes, but I think Brentford's going to feel a bit aggrieved they didn't get the 3 points here because they probably should have won this game.
Save Newcastle's blemishes. That's a new one. I don't think I've heard that expression before, but no, you're right. I think Newcastle were lucky to get the point. Honestly, I don't think their play deserved it. I think Brentford would be really disappointed. Was St. Maximin's goal in injury time?
No. It was like 70th minute, something like that.
Okay.
But it was a great goal, though.
It was. Listen, we expect that from St. Maximin. But, Brentford, to be honest, it's a really bad it's a bad win to lose, honestly. Newcastle have been shocking this season, still winless. Yeah, it doesn't exactly stem the tide that Brentford have been on. So hopefully,
they'd have seen this coming out of the international break as an opportunity to get 3 points and get back on track. And the fact that they were 3-2 up and let it slip away is that might eat at them a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll move on from one chaotic game to another 3-3 draw. Burnley and Palace, who saw this one being an absolute barn burner?
I mean, Crystal Palace they've been fun to watch this season. They're a really physical team, so Burnley's, I call it their wall that they normally play with, they have ways of getting around that, right? Like, I think Tommy mentioned earlier off air that the most surprising thing was Benteke getting a couple of goals with his feet.
With his feet, yeah.
There were a couple of nice finishes too.
Yeah, he's a man in form, Benteke. He's had a good season. But what about that goal from Cornet?
He's been so good since signing.
Yeah.
I swear he only scores bangers. Like, he does not do any tap-ins, this guy.
It's an emphatic volley. Yeah, he's a really good. It's been a great pickup for them.
One of you two compared him to Sam Maximin at Newcastle before we started recording, and
I'll take credit for that.
Go ahead.
That was definitely Tony, yeah.
Tommy would never make such a nuanced point. But it very much feels like that, where they've suddenly got a team that has that X factor, that player who can make something out of nothing with them. And also, because a lot of their creative burden would fall on the likes of Dwight McNeil before, and this frees him up a little more as well, because McNeil's he's a decent player. He can put in some good crosses, but when he's the only line of supply, it's easy to cut him off because he always wants to shift the ball to his left and swing it in.
Yeah.
You have Cornet on the other side now, and have fun dealing with an extra threat and opening up a bit more space. And it's starting to pay off for Burnley.
Zaha actually had a good game. He almost won this in the 90th minute. He had a volley top of the box. Beautiful technique. And right off the crossbar. On his left foot. Yeah. Right off the crossbar. And this game could have been even more spectacular if he made that. So close.
Yeah. They need to start winning, though, Burnley. They're still in... 18th?
They're 18th.
I believe they're 18th.
9 points. Only 3 points above Newcastle.
Yeah.
I mean, a team down there that did win were Norwich. They have 2 wins.
Jesus.
That's 2 more wins than we thought they'd get all season.
They are 3 points away from the record. I mean, yeah.
I just want to thank Eddie Howe for wait, is it Eddie Howe? Am I right?
We don't know what you're
it depends.
talking about.
What are you talking about?
No. Wait.
Dean Smith?
Dean Smith. Dean
Okay.
Smith. What I say? I'm
Jesus
talking about
Christ,
Newcastle for a second. I just want to thank Dean Smith for playing Billy Gilmore. Just finally getting some game time, which is nice to see.
Was he not playing
that was
before?
No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't.
That was the thing. He played Gilmore. He played Todd Cantwell. He played like the actual good players that Norwich have, and these players weren't getting game time under Farke towards the end. And yeah, it took like a horrendous goalkeeping performance for them to win.
Yeah.
But
McCarthy
win's a win. Big start for Dean Smith.
Yeah, I mean, what can you say? They what was it? I think before their last 2 wins were like, are they ever going to win the game this season? And then yeah, they are 2 wins from 2. Yeah.
Either side of the international break too.
Just looking to see, can Southampton still get dragged into it? Honestly,
I think so.
Yeah. Any one of those teams from 13th down, no one's safe.
Except for Villa.
No one's safe.
I'm gonna say except for Villa in this one.
I expect them.
Yeah.
I expect them to be safe.
I mean, might as well, now that we're talking about Villa, Stevie G also picking up his first win as Villa manager in his first game. 2-0, 2 late goals from Watkins and Mings to see off XG Kings Brighton.
Yeah, they won an XG, so that's all that matters. I feel like Brighton play a different game from everyone else. It's all about creating chances for them, scooping the ball.
The analytics love them.
Yeah.
The moment that they sign a finisher, they will be dangerous. That is for sure. But they may not get him. But honestly, this is a game where it had 0-0. You thought until the end, and then a nice goal from Watkins. Good counterattack, and then he kind of cuts in to his right, and kind of a nice curling shot to the far right corner. It was a nice goal, and Ming seals it. But good start for Gerrard. I mean, he set up his team to play definitely a bit more defensively, and that's where they had a lot of issues, right? They conceded a lot of goals, and they had a clean sheet. So I think that's a good start for him. Great start.
The defensive part of the game was a strong aspect of his time at Rangers. So it's good to see that translate over in the first game at least.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting to know him as a manager, actually. Yeah, like you said, he is a counter-attacking coach, and it was a counter-attacking performance from Villa. So it's going to be interesting to see how this develops. As Tommy said, one of the most exciting young coaches around.
Yeah, and I stand by it. I think he is.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's a good start, and hopefully he can help Villa climb up the table quickly.
Yeah. Well, it looks like there's only one game that we haven't covered.
Yep.
Yeah.
Guess no point in me putting it off.
Is it time?
Any longer.
I
believe it is time.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Watford 4.
Let's get
Let's get ready to rumble.
Watford 4. Man United 1. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's final game in charge of the club. With a result like that, not surprising. He was sacked, I believe, Saturday night, Sunday morning, Eastern time, I believe. So that was fun news to wake up to. Realistically, it's a sacking that had to happen. It should have happened a month ago after the Liverpool game. And the fact that it didn't is negligent on part of the United board and is a stain on the stains that run the club. But it's still, it's something that needs to happen, but it still made me very, very sad because I love Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as a player. He's given Man United the greatest moment in the club's history. And he did an interview that he proposed doing an interview on the club website as a sort of message to the fans. A 10-minute interview in which he spoke very well and very eloquently about his love for the club. And you could see that it was someone who was doing their best, who was trying. It just wasn't good enough. He wasn't at the level you need to be managing this club. And he wasn't ruthless enough or decisive enough with some of his decision making. The coaching aspect is a huge issue where the team often looked undercoached, but you couldn't question his commitment. And honestly, it felt like when you have to take your pet to get put down. It's just, you don't want to, you love them, but you have to end the suffering. And I'm just very, very sad. I like when he started breaking down and getting emotional towards the end of that interview. I got to stop watching because I was just very upset.
I haven't watched the interview. I've seen a 1 minute clip.
I don't care if it's not for you.
Yeah, I know.
It's directed towards the United fans. It wouldn't have the same effect on anyone else.
Yeah, this performance was disgraceful. Like, honestly, this performance was not down to the coach. Like, he's been a dead man walking for weeks. And he should have walked after Liverpool because that was a disgraceful performance as well. And United are calling an emergency meeting to get Ole Gunnar Solskjaer fired. It's like...
how is this an emergency meeting?
Yeah,
why was there not a succession plan in place after Liverpool?
We are just
you look at all the other 3 managers that were hired recently. They all came with all 3 clubs moved. Newcastle didn't move very quickly, but they had a bit of a plan in place. It wasn't a great plan, but especially if you look at the likes of Villa and you look at Norwich. They moved quickly because they had a plan in place. They knew who they were going after. Villa immediately knew that they were targeting Gerrard. Norwich immediately knew once Dean Smith was available, this is the guy we want. And you could see it and they, like, the entire point about sacking a manager before an international break starts.
That's the key thing.
Is that you have 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You have 2 weeks to come in and get your ideas in and bed into a new club and start to get a semblance of what you want to do. And you look at both of those managers, they won their first games. Gerrard could organize his defense in those 2 weeks. Dean Smith could figure out that I want to get Gilmore into the team, I want to get Todd Cantwell into the team in those 2 weeks. What United have now is, and this is a big thing, where Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is less of like a hands-on coach. He's more of an overseer who delegates to his assistant coaches. So that's your likes of Michael Carrick, Kieran McKenna. That coaching staff is still there. And that's the coaching staff that's not worked out. And that's the interim coaching staff now. So it's the same coaches are there preparing the players for their next game against Villarreal. Because there's no succession plan in place. And the fact that there isn't, after the performances we've had over the last month, is a damning indictment on the people who run the club.
I just, like, it kind of reminds me in a way of the way Arsenal got rid of Emery. And, look, Arteta's not been perfect, but he's actually done a decent job. And we got lucky that we were able to pick him up when we did. I don't see who is available that's a good fit for United right now. And there's talk that Carrick's and Fletcher are gonna be the ones to take over. This can get really, really ugly.
Yeah,
quickly.
If it's Carrick and Fletcher taking over, like, you can't, like, you have them take over for like a game or two while you're. The one thing that I think is good that they're doing is that they're looking for an interim manager, which makes Michael Carrick the interim to the interim, which is...
I hope so.
Oh, it's just a mess. And they're looking for the talk is that they're looking for an interim manager to see out the season, which is also lovely that we're, like, punting the season off with, like, 26 league games left. It's going to make for a very good season for me to watch, and it's going to be great for my stress levels.
The thing that I can't get over, I love it, is that they had a manager begging to join them.
It makes no
A
sense.
really good one. A really,
no sense.
really good one.
It
And
really makes no
All
sense.
they had to do was be a
Conte,
sensible
yeah.
club and make the move after the Liverpool game.
Tony Conte
No one,
is
no,
right there.
no one would have been surprised if he'd been sacked after the Liverpool game.
it just shows
Like,
how
I don't know
What did they
why
think
it
was
is,
going to
yeah.
happen? What did they think was going to happen? Like he was going to do what? Like so, look, Zidane doesn't want the job, right? I don't even think he's the coach, but like he doesn't want the job because first of all he doesn't want to come in mid-season, and secondly, why
his family doesn't seem to want to move to England, and that's fair.
So, and there's talk of Ten Hag. He's not leaving Ajax mid-season. He's not.
No.
He would be a great fit, but no.
That's the one I want, but you're not going to get him mid-season. It's one of those where that's the play you make for the summer.
Yeah, and I mean there is Ralph Rangnick, right?
If he's willing to come in on
yeah,
an interim
that's just
basis.
it. Why would he want this on an interim basis? Maybe.
I mean, Goose Hiddink did it at Chelsea
Yeah, but
about 10 years back.
yeah, that's a long time ago. It's just
Yeah.
Alex Ferguson.
You know, please
I
don't.
was going to say.
Please don't.
I was going to say. But
He's been out of the game too long. I wouldn't want him.
Has
It'll
he
be,
really though? He seems to have a strong influence behind the scenes. It's funny because he said he was stepping down so that he could spend more time with his family. And it's like he's always there. He's always there. But I just
there's a lot of the talk that I'm seeing. Obviously, it's all just rumors, but it's Pochettino.
It's no.
End of the season.
It's not going to be
Zidane goes to PSG.
Why would
But
you
again,
hire
that's-
Pochettino? I'm sorry.
that's end of the season.
Yeah,
That's
end of the season.
so-
Who's going to come in now? I mean,
I think the strongest link now that I saw was Ragnick, which is not a bad appointment. He did a lot of good work, both as a coach and I think he was a sporting director as well at RB Leipzig. But yeah.
why not
a
just
mess.
bring Van Gaal
It's a
back
mess from
for
the
interim a
Okay,
bit?
Tommy.
You know?
Now you're
Yeah.
just.
Why don't we?
Tommy.
Why don't
Now
we
you're
get?
Tommy.
Look, the press conferences would be glorious, but
You're just being cruel.
look,
It's like,
as much as I want to hear him talk about sex masochism in press conferences again,
that happens.
just
That happens.
that definitely happened.
Steve Bruce, guys,
that's
come
good.
on,
Okay.
former United
I'm not.
player. Let's
no,
go.
Tommy, you're not allowed
Who
to speak
needs
anymore.
enemies with
Get
friends
out
like
of
this?
it.
It's just like.
It's fucking ridiculous. I pour my heart out, and this is what I get.
Hey,
Look.
you know, it's funny. All this talking, we haven't even mentioned what happened in the game.
Yeah, I was gonna say like.
Yeah, I guess let's go through the game. I mean, you knew it was going to be one of those games when Ismail Assar somehow misses 2 penalties in a row, and the second one is worse than the first. Just chaos, just from the start. Just one normal game. That's all I ask for from this football club. One normal game where they look like an actual big team.
Okay, talking about this game. I don't know where to start. Jadon Sancho finally
Sancho,
gets an appearance.
he
was
played
decent.
well.
Yeah, he was decent.
I would say he was our best player barring Van de Beek in the second half, who also, the poetic justice of Van de Beek not getting a single game, coming on, scoring, and then that's the last goal of the Solskjaer era, is not lost on me.
He was fantastic. He had a
I thought he was
through
really
balls
good.
too that were like one for Ronaldo. That Ronaldo was 1-1 the keeper. He didn't score, but I thought Van de Beek was one of your best players.
Oh, you're saying Van de Beek was fantastic?
Yeah.
Maybe. Let's stay on. Let's stay on.
He was the best. He was the best of the bad. Yeah, go on, Tony.
I'm looking at your back five. Shaw, Maguire, Lindelof, Wan-Bissaka. How has it gotten to this? Like, honestly, you look at it. It's actually, what do you expect? Because Harry Maguire has been in shocking form for a while now, and I've never been his biggest fan, but
He was better than this.
yeah, I think he was. I'm trying to.
He was
I'm trying to
always-
remember a point
he was-
where he was what I think he was.
No, well, for Maguire, for me, was always we signed him as a 1A centre-back, like your leader kind of thing. That's the kind of money we paid for him. He's not that.
No.
He's a 1B centre-back. If he has a good partner next to him, like the right guy that he can connect well with, well, this was my opinion of him last season, at least, where it's just like, he could be a very good 1B.
He can be a beta. He's a good beta.
If he was your second best centre-back, you're doing really well. But if he's your best centre-back, you might be in trouble.
I'm actually not convinced that's true, but anyway, I kind of get where you're coming from.
I'm not convinced anymore.
Yeah, this Varane signing, he is a great player. It's turning into a problem. His unavailability, United can't afford it, and he's been injured he's been having injury issues, even going back to his Real Madrid days, and this was the one concern with him coming in. United right now, their pool of defenders is Varane, elite, Maguire, Lindelof, and then Eric Bailly, who's just a mixed bag. And Maguire is the leader of this.
Hey, don't you dare forget Phil Jones. He's still there.
Honestly, I'm surprised that he hasn't gotten minutes this season because he's fit. And the two or the three ahead of him are not doing much better. But anyway, Maguire is the leader of this team. Whether we like it or not, he is the captain. And I mean, look, Watford scored a couple of goals. Ismail Sarr gets some redemption for his missed penalty.
It's a lovely finish from Sarr.
Lovely finish. Josh King gets the first goal. It's just
we left Dennis in so much space, and like you can see on the second goal where Luke Shaw goes to take away the cross across the box.
Yeah.
But Maguire also follows behind Shaw.
Yeah.
So he's in Shaw's shadow at that point. But like Shaw's already taken that lane away. Stay close. And because Maguire's moved to that near post, Sarr's in so much space that he can take a touch and a good finish. But you give a Premier League player that kind of space. I don't care if he's missed 2 penalties.
We all predicted United will win. Uzair was tentative in that prediction, but Watford have been bad this season. Like, barring a win against, I think it was Everton. They've been pretty. I watched them last week, 2 weeks ago. They were awful, and they battered United all over the pitch. And as you mentioned, Van der Beek, he gets a goal, really nice goal. Sancho and Ronaldo combining to create it. And then Maguire,
the thing is, with that Van de Beek sub and the goal, United pulled momentum back. Yeah. They were starting to get on top of it. They were starting to get chances, and it felt like one of those games from last season where United would be dog shit for the first half away from home, and then they'd win 3-2 off a 2-goal comeback. And that the momentum was shifting that way until, like you said, Maguire just under no pressure, terrible first touch, while he's on a yellow card, and then just sides down Josh King or whoever it was, Ismail Sarr, I can't even remember. You're the captain of the club, man. You're supposed to be the guy at the back. You're supposed to organize.
He quit mentally. I'm sorry, but you're on a booking. You can't make that challenge. He let his team down. Let his team down.
That's the kind of challenge that I wouldn't make. And I am not playing at the level that Harry Maguire is.
Yeah.
It's basic stuff.
Yeah.
And it's been that all throughout. It's been that, like, not even since Liverpool. It's been that before Liverpool. We were dropping points before then.
But the response to that was unforgivable. I'm sorry. I mean, Tommy mentioned earlier, Martial loses possession. You've not been playing this season and you're not happy. Come on, man. Like, he just turns around and watches as play progresses, and Pedro. I mean, De Gea probably should do better, but at this point, I think he's just mentally fried. Like, it's like, what the fuck is going on ahead of me? No protection.
It's just you can't expect a goalie to keep bailing you out again and again. De Gea is generally he could have done better, but
I mean, he saved 2 penalties.
He's done a lot this season.
Saved 2 penalties.
This season has been the best De Gea has looked in the last 3 years.
Yeah, but the last goal, look, Matic has previous for getting managers sacked. he has experience from his Chelsea days. That was a guy trying to get Ole. He's like, okay, we're not playing for the manager. That was so clear. Like, he just lets the guy go. I mean, it's a direct from Ben Foster, right? He gets the assist on that.
He got the assist, yeah.
Man, I mean, Lindelof's not expecting it. He's just not. And, oh boy. Like, yeah. The camera pans to Matic's face. He's smiling. It's a mess.
Matic was genuinely the worst player on the, other than maybe Maguire, the worst player on the pitch.
Yeah.
When it was 2-1, I think it was there you're saying how in the chats, I was thinking that United's going to come back. That's my feeling.
Well, no, you could feel the momentum shift with the Van de Beek sub. And then, Maguire.
I honestly thought this game had 3-2 written all over it the entire time. The entire time I thought, Ole's going to keep his job. Doesn't matter what the performance was. Even at 2-1, I think Ronaldo even had another header when they were down to 10 men. They still had another couple of chances where they could have maybe got the tie. The 90th minute, the team switches off.
That's what elite level talent will do, though.
Yeah.
They'll make chances. But you also need to have a system in place to maximize your elite talent. Because if you don't have a system in place, talent won't bail you out in every single game. And that's what United have become reliant on, just talent.
My question is who fixes this defense? And that, it's just, attacking-wise, United I think they're fantastic. I mean, I'm just in terms of the quality of players, right?
No,
but
they're not fantastic. They're not. There's no structure.
No.
They're fantastic.
I'm saying quality of players.
Yeah, you're relying on those individual moments of brilliance.
I don't mean system at all. I'm just mean quality players. Defensively, I don't think they have quality players. You can say Varane, yes, he's injured, but defensively, I don't think they have that quality of players. So who's going to fix that defense?
I honestly, I don't know what you do. I don't know about you boys, but I don't know who they pick up in the short term because they missed the boat on Conte, and that was probably the best manager available. Like we said earlier, Zidane's not interested in the job for a number of reasons. I don't know who they go short term.
I'm thinking it might be right
in the summer. I'd love Ten Hag, but short term, I don't know what they do.
Do we think they can get Ten Hag in the summer?
Yes. It's United. I mean,
you say
they're
that.
still
when was
they're
the
still
last
one of
time
the
a
top clubs.
Coach wanted to go to United. Well, actually, I don't know.
Did you count Mourinho?
No,
Conte wanted to go to United. Conte wanted to.
Yeah,
right?
but he didn't have a job.
I guess top.
Yeah.
Top one was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I think if that's the guy that United go for, he will come because first of all they'll pay him. And it's still United. United is still one of the best clubs in the world.
Let me rephrase, right? For instance, Bayern Munich, they are top. Most likely will win Bundesliga, but they're only like a point ahead of Dortmund, right? If it doesn't work out, and I think Nagelsmann's their coach, is like,
yeah.
Where's he going? Like, Bayern or United? Barcelona have Xavi. Maybe Man United is a more attractive club than Barcelona. Maybe I think
that's
they should go
we will be reliant on other big teams not hunting for coaches.
Yeah,
because there's such a mess from the boardroom down that anyone who comes in the coaching role is immediately up against
Conte
it and under a lot of pressure.
He was perfect. I don't know, there's this snobbery about defensive coaches. I don't know where it comes from. He was perfect for you guys, and
they passed on it. They had their chance,
and now we're in a situation where there's no clear path or clear direction for United. There's none. We don't know who they're gonna get on an interim basis. We don't know who they're gonna get long term.
Yeah, it's the situation. We don't know who's gonna be manager in a year. We don't know who's gonna be manager in a week.
We don't know who likes the squad. Even the squad's not really built for anyone.
It's 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 so weird because if you're signing Ronaldo, you're trying to challenge right now, this year, next year. You're trying to challenge. But if you look at the rest of the squad, with most of the other signings, your Sanchos, your Van de Beeks, this is a squad built to challenge down the line. Like, there's a lot of youth, but then all of a sudden you go and get Ronaldo, and that's a different statement of intent. But you've also neglected your midfield, and that's aging or shit. That entire central midfield double pivot needs a complete overhaul at this point.
You need a new fullback. You need a new right back as well, by the way. Like, this whole Wan-Bissaka is
it's not working.
Yeah, I was gonna say Ronaldo could have been at City right now, enjoying a nice title race and being a Champions League contender. He left Juve, the shit show of Juve, and their sort of their struggles to come to United to another. Yeah, I mean, I don't feel bad for the guy. Don't get me wrong. he's had a great career, but he's pretty much at the end of his career, and he's suffering with United there. Tough.
Yeah. Anyway, it's ugly. I think this can get really, really ugly for a few weeks before it starts to get, if it starts to get better.
Yeah, I hope it's ugly again next week because they play Chelsea.
Oh boy.
That's the perfect game that we want to walk into.
Is that at Stamford Bridge?
Fuck me. It doesn't matter where it's at.
Yeah, I don't think it matters.
It's at Stamford Bridge. Oh boy. Okay.
Of course. Jesus
yeah,
Christ.
You're right. Sunday matchup. Love it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have much else to say about it.
Any last punches, Tommy?
Yeah, go on. I'm already down for the count. You're kicking me while I'm down, Tommy. Just let you know
that we could bring in. I already mentioned Steve Bruce, right? I didn't mention Sam Allardyce though. Big Sam.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. There's a guy that can really maybe, I don't know, would he show up at defense? He'd do a bit better than Ole was doing. Yeah, worth a shout. Interim manager, right? Not bad.
Imagine if it happens.
Hey, would you bet against? I mean, listen, we all can agree. Like, this is United's board being super incompetent. I mean, what's one more bad move? You know?
Even they know how bad that would
be. Do they?
They'll lose.
Maybe.
I genuinely think they'll lose. United will lose fans. if someone
Old Trafford will be empty if that happens.
Yeah, I don't think that happens, man. But I'd love to see it. I really would.
Yeah, that'd be the dream. That's just the cap off this season. But yeah, no, it definitely won't happen.
I'm calling an end to this. Before I curl up and start crying. Please follow us on social media, Instagram, Twitter @442. Subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts. We're all over the place. Apple Podcasts, much like United's defense. Spotify, Google Podcasts, YouTube, we're everywhere. And unlike Harry Maguire, we will not let you down when the pressure gets too much. All that's left to say.
He's getting his own shots.
Thank you for joining me.
Self-inflicting wounds.
Thank you for joining me, Tommy.
It's a pleasure as always. Is there, Antonio?
Thank you for joining me, Tony.
Oh, we forgot to mention. We figured out Tommy's birthday, everyone. So it's no longer a mystery.
That sucks.
A pleasure as always.
Somehow Ole managed to survive until we figured out Tommy's birthday. Maybe that was the key.
Yeah.
So you're saying it's my fault that he got fired? No.
Yep, that's exactly what we're
saying.
Damn
it, I can't live with this.
It.
All right, let's put his out of his misery. Let's get out of here. Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next week, and Ollie will always have that one night in Paris. Bye-bye.